Alapata, stand up. Yeah, you playing like you Tony, I'ma have to turn to Sosa. I hold the burner closer, so hot that it burns the holster. Don't make me turn the family into La Cosa Nostra. Strictly been his biggest crime family known coast to coastal. And my suggestion is you don't approach us. And we ain't friendly, you surrounded by a bunch of vultures that move the cook from boat to boat to hope that we get the boys to the port before the Coast Guard slowly approaches. And don't you try to coach us, man, I've been a player, trying to make it to the top of this rap Himalaya. Got a bunch of shots, bunch of shoddy toys, Johnny Go, Valentine's massacre like Gotti boys. So don't provoke me, Papa, I'm spitting that molten lava, leave you singing floating hour all the way to Okinawa. Give me the cash, better give me the dough before I gotta go and kick in the dough.
The only way I tried it was by getting out the city limits. Like, I'm from Prince George, Williams Lake, right?
Yeah.
So I tried, I had the opportunity to get a ride immediately when I got out of jail in January, right?
Yeah.
And, but I only made it as far as Kamloops. And if there's any scene around, drug scene, for me it's just, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So.
Because most of the services and stuff available are right down here, like concentrated in the east side, right?
On the next street, right?
Yeah.
Or the Balkan House or whatever, right?
Yeah. So do you think if there's an opportunity to get away from here that you'd take it? Or it's just leaving is part of the problem too?
If I had something set up where I could just go there and
just be away from it?
Be away from it, start working, do my own trip, right?
Yeah.
Then I think I'd make it, right?
Yeah.
Just gotta spend that first couple weeks, like I spent most of my life in jail, right? So just gotta spend that first couple of weeks staying sane. Because this is insane. Lots of food, like you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
If anybody says they're starving, I don't know how they're starving, right? They got facilities all over East Van to help people out, right?
What about to help get off drugs, though?
Well, yeah. They got workers, they got people walking the streets even to come and help you, right?
Yeah. But you think for your self, just being down here is enough of a draw to keep doing drugs?
Yeah. I've been down here since '94, so I only came down here originally to visit my buddy's old lady because she was in jail, and I never left.
So how long have you been down here for?
Well, I came down here the first time in '82. I spent a couple years down here, then I went back to Williams Lake, and I had a different mind thought then. I was able to, I had support, I got a job right away, so I was doing things different, right? But if you hang around with drug addicts, for me, I'm just gonna jump right back in it, right? Yeah. So if you hang around with working people, you change your mind, right?
As we move on this subject, we've spoken to many professionals on their take with regards to drugs and ongoing concerns of how the communities are dealing with the problem. It seems that crystal meth is on the rise, more and more youth are on the scene, and GHB is becoming more popular. The healthcare system says not enough funding for prevention, intervention, and thorough education. The only solution we have at the moment is media coverage, funding for youth, and people doing their part in the community by donation. The The government needs to do more on these matters. Ironically, on one half of the coin, professionals dealing with the madness call more funds. On the other hand, the street says the government has done their part and drug users use by default.
Cause ain't no telling when the bomb drop. Equipped with more ammunition than the
HIV. So I got tested and I was negative, so I thought, well, it was a good time to get out. So I went back to the Yukon, became a youth worker, and got tested 3 months later and I was positive. So like, even though the lifestyle here, like, it's easy to live down here because you just like forget everything, right? You don't have to deal with it, but you still bring it back with you wherever you go. Where you go home, whether you go home or you stay here, it's still the same. And the resources everywhere, there's resources everywhere, right? It's just a matter if you want to use them or not. But reality is, drugs is always going to be here. And skids are always going to be here, and no matter what we try to do, it's never going to go away. Like, I choose not to come back down here because of my health and stuff like that, but still, I still fight with my addiction everywhere I go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and, you know, it doesn't matter how many resources there are, it's just me that has to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, if I get 3-4 months clean, right on, cool, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm constantly fighting it every day. Every day I fight with it, and I go back and forth and go back and forth. And,
Yeah. So there's no end all.
yeah, it's
thing.
like
It's
the
personal
Twilight
choice.
Zone. You go in and you never come out, right? And it's something that you fight all the time, and, you know, kind of sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, like, but when I lived down here, like, you couldn't even get me off Main and Hastings. Like, if you got me off Main and Hastings, I was just like, lose it, right? Like, no, I got to go back because I was scared. You know, scared to, when I used to stay up for days and days and days because I was scared to wake up sick, you know? And every moment that you're out there trying to get your dope, it's like, okay, I'll get my fix for the morning, I'll go to sleep, I'll wake up. But that never happens, you know? You always end up waking up sick.
Yeah.
You know, 18 days down the road and you're like, but you're still sick. So, but like I said, it's always going to be here, and it doesn't matter what the government does.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
make it as safe as possible, educate as much as you can, and, you know,
So just more like harm reduction. Then,
yeah,
eh? So
harm
you're-
reduction is the most important thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And to be real about it, you know, people, you know, baby the issues and, you know, da-da-da-da, and look what happened when everybody babied it. It came out too big epidemic of HIV and AIDS and everything else, Hep C, and, you know, it's just time to be, like, blunt, straight out forward. Like, this is reality if you want to come down here. And like Phil said, you know, he came down here in '82 and never came out.
Yeah.
That's how it was. I came in and it's just,
Because you get stuck.
it just,
then,
yeah, you get stuck, and, you know, and sometimes there is, like, sometimes when you want to leave, those resources ain't there to get you out, but sometimes they are too. Like, there was a time I was stuck down here, I wanted to go back, and one of the churches paid for me to go home, so, you know, it's just a matter of looking for it.
Yeah. And if you want to find
Yeah.
it, it's out there.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Anything that's not out there that you think would be helpful? That, like, even within the harm reduction side of things?
No, like I said,
No.
everything is out there.
Everything's out there.
You know, you can't starve down here. There's no reason to be dirty down here. There's no reason not to have clean clothes because it's all here.
Yeah.
You know, you know, the government's done their part. Now it's just we got to do our part.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, this is dedicated to the street. I call this one Twisted. For blood, graffiti, and sirens, an unspoken evil is at work. Soul in perdition, morbid skeletons crying, to eggs in the frying. Am I a spiritual lyrical miracle, spitting verse of a curse to the hearse? Criminal rhyme doing time of the soul they must design. I'm a charismatic poet addict, causing static through the stormy madness. What must I do to shine the rust and shake the dust? Plus the plus, hustling in God we trust. The alleys seem to run dry with rye, pry and defy the third eye on high. As I cried me a river from cirrhosis of the liver, as I quiver, nervous system shivers. Through the darkness of the asylum, a silent awaits them. Witness the principle, all in the ritual. I know it's terrible and irresistible. Learn who to listen to. I feel your pain when the rent's due. Yeah, it's critical, stained in the residue. You may never escape, but we're expecting you to. The darkness is heartless at the liquor mart list. Illness terminal, spoken subliminal, allowing our eyes to remain criminal. I realize this may not be heard. Yeah, it seems absurd, but for real, that's my word. Peace.
Licking the door, waving the 4-4.